Hello, Specimen here. There were some very interesting decks on the final day of the TLG Invitational. The only player to get Scoia'tael through to the second day, the top 16, was Eluha, who brought this list I'm going to share with you. I believe the deck was initially made by Jarvis, so credit to him. It's done very well on ladder, and it seems like the best way by a distance to play Scoia'tael this season. Let's dive in, have a look at what we have got here. It's very difficult to play, I'll tell you that, in the few games I've played with it. I've been pretty unsuccessful. Having watched Eluha, though, got a decent idea of how to manage some of the tougher matchups with this deck. It's a mix between Symbiosis, and it's a mix between Deadeye, Ambush, Elves. Don't get me wrong, Scoia'tael definitely not one of the strongest factions this season, but if you're looking for the best way to play Scoia'tael, this does seem like it. Yeah, you've got two options, right? You've got your Symbiosis procs with Eithne, a couple of Symbiosis tags with Abandoned Girls, which mean your nature cards such as Cress, Rebukes, your Council, etc., as well as your Call, are going to get a pretty good amount of value if you've got a decent amount of Symbiosis units down on the board. That's one thing. Rather than just going all in on that, though, and using that Gourd as that short round 3 finisher that you often expect with this list, we're keeping the Symbiosis, we're keeping the Devotion, but we're factoring in some of these Elves as well, which can get a lot of points. Particularly in a short round 3, it gives you a lot of flexibility, being able to play a card like Eithne, Venesiel, Oak, maybe saving your Ellerine and some leader abilities, as well as Yaven as well, can give you a really strong round 3. Sort of a mid to short round 3 is perfect for this deck. Particularly a short round 3 is really good if you actually end up saving your Venesiel and your Ellerine in your deck for round 3, which is definitely easier said than done, but equally a sort of mid-range round 3 where you keep your Eithne, you keep a couple of nature cards, you keep your leader charges, your Oak, you're going to be very difficult to deal with. What I would say, a 10 card round 3 against a lot of meta decks, yikes, yeah, it's probably just not going to happen for you unless you manage to get out a load of good cards round 1. We're going to head on to a game. Oak Critters being one Devotion payoff, Frixonet getting both his abilities, and Eithne is going to transform. We want to make sure we're not buffing Eithne in our hand, and we're going to want to make sure we don't find Ellerine in our hand, so we want to be slightly careful with mulligans. Just to touch on the Abandoned Girls as well, when I was casting with Lionheart, we were both a bit on the fence about this card. It's a card I really like, but rather than using the Dryad Enchantress, which makes your Isengrim's Council way less consistent on finding the card you might want to find, because obviously if you've got Dunker, if you've got Fave, if you've got Eithne in your deck, you're going to want your Council to hit those, whereas if you're throwing in more Dryads, which the Dryad Enchantress is of course a Dryad, then it's going to make that a lot less consistent. So I think that's the reason the Abandoned Girls have a place. As I say, I've played 2 games with this deck, and I might have lost both of them, but still, we're going to see what we can do here. Having watched Eluha, I am feeling pretty confident. He actually ended up winning round 1, bleeding round 2 with Eithne and Symbiosis, and then the short round 3 with Venesiel, Oak, and Ellerine coming out. We're up against Uprising. The big thing that you don't have in Devotion, Scoia'tael, is tool removal and artifact removal. We don't need artifact removal, but no tool removal is a stinker. 2 cards I want to get rid of. Eithne, no thank you. Don't like her in my hand, man. If I find Dunker, you already know the hand buffs are going on her. She transforms, and you don't get the hand buff, so adios, amigo. Ellerine, do we want to keep her in our hand? We could, and just then surprise him in round 3, but let's be honest, I'm probably just going to try and avoid playing that many Elves. And if I'm left with no choice, you know, I can just play some Elves. So, Council is going to show me 3 Dryads. Well, it could show me 1 of 3 Dryads, which is less than ideal. We would have liked to call Dunker in, but equally my Call of the Forest onto the lovely Dunker is going to put it out the range of Boiling Oils and would demand an answer such as Einsis. Are we going to commit the Abandoned Girl first of all, though? Are we going to commit the Thunder to answer this? Don't think we're going to commit the Nature's Rebuke on the Royal Guard. We're probably just going to leave this. We could, of course, play the Half-Elf Hunter or the Harmony proc, then flip the Abandoned Girl around and maybe play another Human layer, but doesn't seem like the best of ideas. I think it's probably important to just try and get our Dunker up and running, but then again, maybe I'll just go for the Half-Elf. I think we go for the Half-Elf, get the Harmony proc going. We're going to put it importantly in the front row. Would not be surprised if this gets answered, to be completely honest, but should ride its way out, and then we'll commit Dunker in the next turn to just get a little bit more value off this Harmony proc. And the Abandoned Girl as well is a human, so she is going to get some half-decent buffs off this too. Yeah, maybe my half-elf hunter was a wee bit unnecessary. We do want to get the hand buff up and running as soon as possible, but equally, I want to try and get some good cards out of him. So taking this line of play does give me quite a few more points. I'm going to get 1 extra point off my Call of the Forest. I'm going to get 2 extra points off my half-elf hunter, and assuming my Dunker just gets answered anyway by an Einsis, it's really not the end of the world, I don't think here. Is this going to be a reinforcement on the John Natalis? A pretty aggressive push by our opponent. I feel like I'm still in caster mode as well. I've been casting Gwent all weekend. I'm sort of still talking like a little bit like this. Red Wedding Knights making a comeback, man. They are no joke. They are no joke, that is for sure. The Abandoned Girl is going to do the old switcheroo. Wait for the voice line.
My old name? I don't remember.
Gee. Jeez, I talked over it, but it's so good. My old name, I don't remember it, I don't care. We could risk the 50-50 on Fave into Council. In fact, that's nonsense because Council's in my hand. We are just going to go for the Dunker in the front row. And, yeah, okay, I didn't really think this through because, of course, now flipping this round got me the Wandering Tramp, but it didn't get me the buff on the Half-Elf Hunter. So, actually, my ordering was pretty pants there. Einsis does come down anyway, so, you know, it don't actually matter in the end. And we do at least get the hand buff on Venesiel, instead of maybe hitting it on the young Dryad or the Abandoned Girl, whatever you want to call her. 25 points down, and this is where Squirtle is just not doing too much, right? But this list has still got potential. 25 points down, we need 26. I think we can commit the Marauder, and we've still got 3 cards, we should be fine. Let's do that. Einsis is out of him. Can't really complain. Getting the leader charge as well, as the Roar God was committed on the frigate. Not looking completely terrible, but again, less than ideal. We actually get the pass. Wasn't expecting the pass, I'll be completely honest. I could play Venesiel here and take it and then try and bleed round 2. Not exactly sure what my win con is, but I don't think we beat this in a long round, so I'm pretty sure we're just going to go for that, honestly. We'll dump Venesiel back row. Pretty sure that's going to be enough. She is going to play for 12 plus Ereline's 17, and 1 leader charge would do it, right? So I've obviously got a point here, Ereline, so we're going to have to commit a leader charge as well. And we're going to bleed into this round 2. Because to be honest, we are not going to win a long round against Uprising. And a big thing I've noticed from casting some of the best players this weekend is the amount of people that are pushing into this round 2. Really, really has surprised me. In fact, obviously it can be very useful, but just how frequently it has been happening it's been really interesting to see, honestly. We'd love to find Eithne's mother, we'd love to find Vrixenet, and we'd love to find Fave. One of them, well, one of the Dryads in particular would be really, really good to see here. That's not a Dryad. How is Yavin looking in this hand? Pretty pants, right? Let's kick him. We find Vrixenet, but again, I was looking for a Dryad in hand, right? Which we do not manage to find. We could start with this. Of course, I'm not actually going to be getting the young Dryad, the carryover rather. I could also go in with the Council, try and find Eithne. It's all less than ideal, really, right? Feeling quite awkward with this hand, but the good sign is we got the Nature's Rebuke, right? A couple of them, and as well as the Forest Protector for a third. So we should be able to answer these frigates. If he does want to call... Oh, God, wow. Someone's been watching Freddy Babes. So this would strongly suggest Ildiko, cards like that. This is, of course, my time to pass if I don't want to push into this round, but like, I'm just going into this round. I feel like I've got very little choice, to be completely honest. We will lose a long round 3 against this opponent for sure. So, obviously, didn't want to commit the Ereline or the Venesiel, but knowing that I was going to bleed, committed that big card. Couldn't have really done it any differently, I don't think. Maybe a few of my plays early on were on the low tempo side, but hi-ho. That is what you get with this deck, really. Definitely not ideal to miss the Eithne and the Fave, though, for sure. Was mulliganing Eithne, I believe, in round 1. Could that have been a misplay? Could we have just accepted the dodgy hand buffs? It could have been an option, right? The Venecio hand buff really didn't get anything. No carryover for us here. My Forest Protector and Oak not getting those buffs. This is his last use of Assault as well, by the way. Of course, I cannot answer this straight away because it is buffed up, but he doesn't have Assault for round 3, which is pretty good. You can't really complain with that too much. Of course, he is preventing my pass. In fact, this is still a pass for me. I've got an Assault out for him. I've traded a Frixenet and an Oak Critters for his Assault and a Frigate. No frigates left for my opponent. Do we ever get a better pass? No. No, we don't. Am I going to win a long round 3? No. No, I'm not. So, we're going to carry on. We're going to keep calm. We're going to carry on. Expecting to see an uprising charge used on the frigate, which is just going to annoyingly keep it out of range. But we could finish it up with Oak. Might just be a good time to commit the Oak to deal with this. Does mean I'm going to have to commit a leader charge or 2. Oh, we clean up. And the Eggman as well, very much in range of my Nature's Rebuke. And we're applying a decent amount of pressure onto my opponent here. Of course, massively overcommitting. Like, what do I even have left for round 3 at this point, you ask? I've got Eithne. I guess. That's something, right? Yeah, I mean, I've got Eithne, I guess. That is something. We'll take care of Anna, seeing as that played for 8 points. Obviously denying him as well. Reynard coming down is a pretty scary engine. I could make the Tempering play for 6 points. I could continue to try and kill Reynard. We could go for the Council, which we could counsel into Fave, into a Tempering for a bit of extra tempo. Kicking the Gaven here, maybe a bit sketchy as well. I don't know, man. It's just not gone well for us, let's be completely honest. You can see the difficulty in using this deck. Yeah, really is a tough one. But still, as I say, it has done well on the ladder. Certainly not performing to its best of abilities as it stands. I think taking the pass here just feels pretty wrong, honestly. Probably going to pass now. We may as well just, I think we just trade that Tempering for probably something slightly better in his hand. Of course, not having like 7 damage or 6, yeah, 7 damage is just a bit of a common theme in this devotion list. No Yeet Wave, no locks. And yeah, that's probably a big problem Squirtle Devotion has, but alas, here we are. It's a big shame we didn't get the Frixenet buff as well on a Fave, which is your only real target with this card, apart from Dunker, because of course, unless you're going to save this for round 3, which is still not a bad round 3 card at all. Plays for 9 points plus an engine. Voimir, very lackluster. This also suggests he's got a very, very good hand, right? Is he going to commit full leader? He is. Okay. And there goes my pass. The pass I had, but do no longer have. But leader's gone. So you never know. I could pass now, right? Anticipating, seeing as he committed Voimir at 6 tempo. Anticipate maybe like 1 bronze card. Then again, like, he out-tempoed me by 3 points. And there's not going to be any cards in his hand that are 3 points, right? I'm pretty sure we're supposed to push this still. He's looking to top deck into his whatever his all god cards are. And I'm pretty sure we're screwed anyway, so we may as well just go for it, right? Yeah, God knows, man. It's not looking good, right? Let's be completely honest here. It is not looking good. I guess we keep Fave as she's maybe like... I don't know, whatever, man. Let's go for Fave. Let's see if we could just get some really good cards out of him. It seems pretty unlikely at this point we're going to be doing much. Buffing up Fave, playing in further into a Baron. It's just not gone well for the lad here. We've given it a go. Struggling, however. Very much struggling. Definitely overcommitting in that round 1. Just not having enough to bleed without the Eithne here as well. The Aneromancy, which is now doomed, meaning he's not guaranteed to pull these other cards, of course. the Visigoth is just going to come through and slam a ton of value. We get rid of one of his boosted units. We get rid of the Aneromancy, so there's no guarantee he's going to draw into it, but still would predict a very strong hand, including Bloody Baron. This is a 12-point card, though, in round 3. Even more if we find the Eithne, right? So we're going to keep this. We'll take our pass. At least his leader's gone. Even though, obviously, he's got the card on us. Leader's gone. Our leader's gone. He's got a card advantage. Potentially some carryover from All God as well, but Eintis being gone, not really too scared of that carryover as much. Bad. Very bad. Nice. Fave would be good. Oak Critters plays for 7. This plays for potentially more, right? Because I've got the Eithne, so let's kick this. And a half-elf hunter. A half-elf hunter. Unfortunately, no Thunder Valley for us there either. We miss pretty much just Yavin, which I did actually have if I wanted to earlier on. And I think you can clearly see that Venetia is supposed to be kept for later rounds, if at all possible here. I mean, still not looking like a particularly impressive round 3 from our opponent, but he's essentially got 8 points. Well, he has got 8 points on us, right? We do need to call the Caress in to try and get a decent amount of value off that. And we are still going to proc the Half-Elf Hunter. Harmony as well with the Trent Protector. And 5 damage as well would buff him up too. So let's call the Caress in. Not on Eithne. Anything but Eithne. As she has got Veil. We're actually a couple of points to the good here. 5 points ahead. Obviously, he has got a card on us. And unfortunately, we don't have a nice... The Bomb Heaver comes through. There's no way we actually do this, right? Is there? Have we done it? So, the Nature's Rebuke's worth 9. This is worth 5. This is worth... It seemed impossible, right? The bleed seemed sketchy. You guys were doubting it. I was doubting it. Bloody Baron is the last card. Pew pew pew. I mean, okay, look, we drew fantastically in round 3, right? But the power of the round 2 bleed, the dodgy round 2 bleed, paid off. This deck's fun. Let's go into another game. God, seemed unlikely, right? Many people have clicked off thinking this deck is trash. I ain't using this deck, but you see the potential round 3 power that Eithne can give you. Venetia can, of course, be your other way of going, but we kept the Forest Protector. Did a good job for us there, man. And the Half-Elf Hunter with the Harmony, not too shabby Alonso. Not too shabby Alonso at all. The 3rd evolution form of Eithne is really, really good. Getting those 3 Symbiosis procs. More Uprising, seeming like the flavour of the month. It's like my 4th match against Uprising, and I've really not played much Gwent in the last few days. Ereline and Eithne in hand. Are we going to make the same decision and mulligan them? Yeah. Definitely Ereline. Yeah, sod it. She can go, man. Sod it. Like, whatever. Am I ever going to play Abandoned Girl going first? No. No, I'm not. We'd love to see a nature card. That would be good, huh? That's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, what you wish for, I guess. We're going to lead in with Virixinet, buffing up Fave. That is your main target, apart from Dunker. And then the call could be used on Dunker. Let's call the lad in. The legend. The legend. We've got a young Dryad that could have been buffed up. I don't think we need to do that just yet. We could also buff up old Dunker if we're not scared of the heat wave. Radovid loves it. He wants to destroy the Scumatel. He's glad there's no more Skelliger up against him. The Gwent partner card back as well. He might be thinking he's live on stream, but he's not. This is the big problem that you... This is the big problem that you do have with Devotion again. No Heat Wave. But alas, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. We could just decide to Oak Critters this. A bleed in a couple of turns, but then again, he probably puts a drummer down next. I think it's probably within our interest to just get Dunker up and running as soon as we possibly can here. Obviously, I could go for the Council, but 50% chance on Eithne. You've always got the Dwarf as a backup, but that seems like a bit of a stinker of a play. And, you know, I insist not being a soldier either, and being the only real way of dealing with Dunker here, apart from like a Philippa, not a soldier. It's a nice time. I love the voice lines, man, on these Scoia'tael cards. It's a nice time to put it down, because if he's going to commit Einsis, it doesn't get him in the frigate pocket, so he's losing 2 points of value there. Of course, tactical advantage, real option on Dunker, but I'm a little bit scared of Heatwave. Bloody Baron as well could go in the back row, and I wouldn't be able to deal with him. Let's just leave her like this for the time being. A Royal Guard coming in next. Are we going to answer the Royal Guard with a Thunder? That is a bit of a decision for us. Of course, committing the Thunder does give us access to another Forest Protector. And these decks don't have unlimited soldiers, you know. But again, I don't have unlimited Thunders. I feel like there's probably better targets for it in a wee while here. We're on even points. I've obviously got 5 waiting here, but he's got 4 waiting here. I think we just got to go for it, man. I think we're risking it a little bit too much if we don't decide to go for the Rebuke. It's also going to enable our Protector. Might mean we can stay in this round for a little bit longer without overcommitting anything, and gaining some carryover potentially on these cards like Yavin on Forest Protector as well. I would like to keep this card, as he showed in that last game. Really nice way of finishing up, but again, we're basically saying, okay, play a Soldier, son, which he does have. Are we going to go for the Forest Protector? It's quite a big commitment. Quite a big commitment. Don't want to play Venezio. Dunker's still giving us that hand buff. I think we've got a few decent options. I think let's put an Oak Critters down. Maybe bait the Oak or something. Pretty reasonable, I think. And we're still pretty far ahead. I'm not really too concerned. This bleed from the Crack Cutthroat is not playing for many points initially. Of course, it will develop into more points. But he also might be scared of the Dryad's Crest, which unfortunately I don't have. I might have even mulliganed it. Adalia suggests Vanguards and Draug. Actually on another frigate, which is in hand. Going down pretty late. And a very, very peculiar placement on this frigate here at the front. I could use Dunker and take this frigate out at the front. Honestly, the placement of Adalia means that he needs to play 2 soldiers in 1 turn for this to really find much value, and I'm not really very scared, to be completely honest with you. So I'm gonna keep calm and carry on. We could bleed this as well, right? Get rid of the shield, threaten the Thunder, might get an Uprising charge out. He's playing quite low tempo though, that is for sure. Now, one of the cards is a frigate. He's probably got Draug. I do not want to pass. I'm going to lose along round 3. Whatever we do, we don't want to pass. I think it's pretty reasonable to go for the Critters, bleed this and then Thunder it. Not playing for that many points, but yeah, it's very, very slow. Still got the hand buff. Yeah, I don't think we need to go for it. I think we could just bleed this. We'll bleed the frigate. I think play for value here. We're going to leave this. As I say, the placement of Adalia means I don't really need to remove this. It doesn't get me that much value. Knowing as well he's got another frigate in hand might just be a better option for us. Egmont. Egmont's tempting to Thunder as well, honestly. Passing is still an option for us. And as I say, this frigate's just not... I think we take Egmont outright. It's worth it. We want to win this round, we've decided. We've invested pretty heavily to do so. Let's make use of our Forest Protector, getting a lot of value. Do we commit this as well? Strongly suggest, of course, I'm going to pass. I really don't need to do that. It's still getting me hand buffs. The double Marauder as well. Just 2 nice cards I can dump down here. No worries at all, really. Looking pretty good. What on earth is this guy doing here with his placement of his Dahlia? He's had an absolute stinker. Still not enabling it. Up you down. Look at these oak critters, man. Peeking, seeing what's the crack is. Opponent's still going. Is he finally going to get this ship in the front up and running? Might be time for him. Voimir's scary. I guess we take our pass now, honestly. Visigoth would just rip straight through us, so let's take our pass. Voimir, one of those big cards we are scared of. I've got a lot of carryover, right? Of course, not the most ideal card. Hopefully we miss the hand buff on this again, which we do. It's not the worst dry pass card. Really happy with how that round's gone. Didn't really commit much. Opponent, Adalia, Voimir, Frigates, 1 assault. Obviously he's going to have access to another assault. Pretty good overall though. We had a lot of tempo from the Oak Critters, did a good job. Bricks in it, put in the... And here's the Vanguards, which again suggests Draug, right? Which is quite scary, but hopefully we don't get punished for passing there. Very, very scared of the potential of Visigoth. And he could have like all-in leaded there and I would have been a card down. None of it would have felt great. Eithne's really good. Oak's really good. Honestly, the Thunder is not bad either. I think we'd probably risk it and just try and find this count. Honestly, his hand's fine, right? His hand's more than fine. Yep, sounds good. Let's keep it. Let's not risk any mulligans we don't need to. We'd just put the Marauder down, obviously wasting a point of hand buff, but we've got 5 points of hand buff here, 1 point of hand buff here. Ereline's still in the deck. Eithne, Oak. We've got a very strong hand for a round 3. You couldn't ask for much more, except Isengrim's Council would be a nice touch. For sure. Half-Elf Hunter, beautiful. Abandoned Girl, not... It's not bad. It is not bad at all. Karak City Guards, 2 gone. So not really anticipating any more bleeds. Do we keep the Abandoned Girl? Or do we put her back into the deck and abandon her? Okay, Council right now is hitting the Half-Elf Hunter or the Dwarf. Yeah, let's keep this hand, man. That's good. This hand is all good. So, Venetiel's most likely going in the back, true. Yavin works with Elves. I don't normally play Elves, man. Celebrate if you're watching, forgive me. Forgive me, mate. I think we commit Elves to the back. Makes sense. Makes sense. Of course, Venetiel could go front row as well, right? And do a lot of Elven Deadeye damage shenanigans. We could also put the Abandoned Girl down next. She's going to proc this, but of course we'd like to get rid of this too. Is this just worth a Venetiel now? 8. We need 4 Deadeyes down. We just do it, man. Gotta be worth it, right? It's just gotta be worth it. Bloop. 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 Make sure I'm playing this in the front row, because in the correct row, because I never really play this card. Ha! Maybe we should have put these in the front row, anticipating this line of play, but you know, new to the game, new to this deck. Half-Elf Hunter still an option as well in the back row, which will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elves, 8 elves in the back, almost perfect. We can't complain. Got to be happy with that. Abandoned Girl, probably the other card to go into this row because it will proc the Half-Elf Hunter Harmony. We probably go Abandoned Girl, Eithne, Half-Elf Hunter, Yavin, and then we'll Oak the front, I guess. He doesn't want the smoke, man. I'm gutted we didn't get to see the finish, but look, we beat 2 Uprising decks. That is no joke, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Really looking forward to getting my hands on a little bit further with this deck. It's a lot of fun. Don't underestimate the power of the round 2 bleed, okay? Don't underestimate it. It's going to be key for this deck to be any good at all. It might feel terrible. And watch your boy play it. Maybe when this video goes live, I'll have a little bit more experience. Some of my first games, and definitely watching Aluha play earlier has helped me a lot, because the way he played it really, really did impress me. So yeah, much love, guys. Look out for more deck guides coming soon. I'm talking Vicious / Adder, by the way.